Goodness, unscripted, ladies and gentlemen. That's how we start. EB, what's up with you, brother?
Season 2, episode 2. No, we're good. We're good. Yeah, hit the gym early this morning. I was talking about it, and before I used to go to the gym early in the morning, 3:30. Nobody in the gym.
3:30 a.m. That is right.
3:30 a.m. Yeah, 3:30 a.m. now. It's like a full house. It's crazy.
3:30 a.m.
You get to work out in
there? Just getting back from the club at 3:30, and you already going hitting the gym. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I got to. I got to hit that gym, man. But my gym is not open yet, so we go to this one gym that it just it's like the only gym right now in town until the other gyms start opening up.
Right.
I know. Is that Pops?
What's happening there? Good. I see you, sir. Yes, sir.
Good morning.
He out there on his walk right now. I think he was doing some walking. So
okay.
Get a little exercise in. Right.
Getting that fitness in. How about you? What's up there?
Man, I'm gonna go hit it tonight. Right. You're the early bird. I'm trying to get there, but I'm the night owl. I'll get there this evening. Put the family, put the house to sleep, but then I'll get out there this evening and try to move some heavy weights.
Okay. Did you vote?
Not yet. I was waiting for the last debate, and I also want to physically take it in. So I'm taking it in on the 31st. Me and Jordan are going to walk in, and we're going to get our little sticker, take our Instagram picture, that kind of thing. But
all right.
I got my stuff right here. I got all my propositions already filled out. Red, blue, green, yellow, all. I'm not necessarily voting down party lines, but I am voting. I'm voting appropriately for
the season.
For the season,
the
reason for the season, right? I'll leave it at that. Shouts out to Dave Natividad. Hey, did you know Natividad? He was in Okinawa.
You know what?
It's good dude.
I have to.
Yeah.
Kubasaki.
Yeah. Look at Aaron. Anthony. And I love that profile picture with mommy in there. I see you. Boy. You had a new baby yet? Talk to us, man. You a daddy yet?
He got the glasses on, his emojis. That's what
I haven't voted yet. Like I said, we're gonna vote next week on the 31st.
I did the mail-in ballot, which was pretty cool, pretty awesome because I really want to see. I mailed in ballots before. Military, you be overseas, you got to do your absentee ballot. But I mailed mine in this time, and I wanted to check out the whole tracking thing, right? So the ballot tracks, and I was like, so I mailed it. When did we had the show, last show, the day after that last show, I popped it in the mailbox. I'm thinking, dang, how come I haven't heard anything yet? I'm like in a hurry. With this day and age, you want things to be instantaneous, right? But I finally last night, I got a text on my phone from Ballot Tracks, or is it Ballot Tracks, whatever it is, and it says, "Hey, your vote has been counted." So I popped that bad boy on Instagram, on social media. I was like, "Hey, my voice is being heard."
So did you put it in one of the ballot boxes, or did you take it to? Okay. So
I actually,
it was in a real ballot box too. It wasn't a fake one. Okay,
not a fake one. Yeah, and honestly, I just took it to the one that's actually on the ballot. It's that they had like a couple of, there was 6 of them, and they had like 6 libraries. You can tell what it is. That box is big. It's like a small slot. You just stick it in there. Although I heard someone try to burn one, not the one in my area.
Man, they burning ballot boxes.
Man, it's like,
what's crackheads out there?
That could have been their whole party that they were trying to vote for. They just burnt them all up.
Just saying, right?
So it makes no point. Anyway, maybe they're just trying to hurt the mail-in ballot, but it was easy. It was easy peasy. Like I said, I dropped it in there. I got the little text saying, "Hey, your vote is on its way. It's going to count." So I thought that was pretty cool.
Nice. That's good. So everyone get out there, get that ballot, get that vote in. November 3rd is the day before, not after, but before or on. Make sure you get that ballot in. Again, we don't care who you vote for, just as long as you get that vote in.
That's right.
Speaking of voting, speaking of that, so you watched that last debate?
Oh man! Oh my man! How are these the only 2 choices? I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but I mean, we've seen debates in the past. We've seen them in the past, but this one is really just a debate of finger pointing and see, this guy didn't do this. I'm telling you, I keep saying this. You ever see that old movie called Grumpy Old Man back in the day?
That's like I'm trying to be Morgan Freeman when I get old, right? If I make it, I'm trying to be that dude. But this reminds me of two kids in the sandbox playing, and somebody took the other's toy, and they just point trash about each other.
No, he did it.
And they're gonna be the most powerful person on the planet. So,
oh my God, yeah, it's days are different now. So days are different, and it's apparent. But what about this? This is already almost up. I don't know if he's going to get another second term or whatever. What are your thoughts on what's happened in the last 3.5 so years? What's your take on? Were there any pluses or minuses for you in this?
During
this last term.
Oh damn, we won't go down that route. Okay, hold on. I didn't know we was going. You throwing one off. I wasn't ready to. I'm not going to talk too much about it because again, we trying to get some advertisers, and I don't want to mess up.
Let's just totally stay unbiased. I mean, it's really like, hey, were there some good points? Were there some bad points?
So there's nothing positive about 45. I won't even say his name, right? There's nothing positive about about the person. He's disrespectful. He is not a leader. He is not a someone who anyone should rally behind as an individual, and as someone who continually talk negative about anyone that's outside of his family. He even talks bad about his family. So I'm ready for the man to go ahead and hit the road, Jack. Right. But look, in terms of the last conversation that they had, the debate, I think it was a more civil, just because they had some technology in place to where they could each other up, right, in the midst of someone trying to talk. So that made it for us, the voters, to actually hear something.
Right.
Neither one of them really talked about any context in terms of plans, in terms of how we're going to get out of this COVID, how we're going to get the economy right, how we're going to deal with whatever infrastructure, how we're going to deal with education or anything like that. So, it unfortunately, and I say this a lot, it is what it is. But no, long answer short, no, bro, nothing good has come out of this dude at all. The cons far outweigh the pros, if there were.
I think there are some good things that came out of this. In my mind, there were some good things. I mean, some outstanding memes. There was some outstanding. I think for me, the personality. I think when it first started, and for me, everybody says, this is U.S. this is United States. We're the United States. There was a straight, clear divisionism. I mean, and if that's even a word, I mean, I felt like there was so much divide, and there was no trying to rectify that. I don't even say it was blatant or not. There was just no plan to try to even make it so that it doesn't seem like it's.
The only grown up that was on stage was the moderator. So shouts out to her, because she actually controlled a lot of the narrative.
Oh yeah, definitely.
With the two kids in the corner when they needed to be.
Right.
And is actually throwing us some content saying that. And that's a sad state of the current environment, right? Because he's throwing fire on the flames, and riling up the base, talking bad about someone, talking bad about the other man's child, talking bad about the other man's whatever. So it's nothing positive came out of the last 3.5 years.
Yeah.
The two presidential debates were ridiculous. The fly on Pence's head was just the funniest thing I have ever seen. And, that was just crazy, right? That was just karma for you right there. The man had a fly on the top of his head for like an hour.
I don't know if you watched that Saturday Night Live skit when they did when they did the Pence with the fly on the head. Jim Carrey was on there as as Biden. All of a sudden he turned into like this back this old movie called The Fly. Jeff Goldblum. All of a sudden he became this fly. Jeff Goldblum, Biden fly on Pence's head. It was so funny. Oh my, it's Saturday Night Live never ceases to make you laugh.
That's true.
So, and honestly, Jim Carrey looked almost dead on Biden. It was crazy. It was a good show.
No, I'll check that out. I'll check that out.
But like you said, man, if you haven't voted, please vote. I mean, make your voice heard. If you like the way the state of affairs are, vote. If you don't, vote. The only way you're going to make a change is to vote or to have it your way. Vote, please. Having said that, I want to go into a serious topic. Man, I was watching this show again. You know what?
You got some things on your mind today.
Being home, I'm always on the Netflix, and there's been some good stuff on the Netflix. I call it the Netflix. That's how my mom calls it.
On the Facebook.
On the Facebook. Yeah, but there was a show called Social Distancing, which I thought was cool. And
Social Dilemma.
No. We'll get to that one. There's actually a show called Social Distance, and
is that right?
Okay. There was a couple of actors that they're in this, and there was some, and they showed like some real short. They're like almost mini shorts, scenes, right? How people are, their behavior and their personalities during this COVID time, being stuck at home, we're having to work from home, and they showed these different situations, and I thought it was pretty genius. But then, what I want to do now is go back to what you're talking about, Social Dilemma. There is another show, because I kind of watched the whole, now I can just kind of power through all these shows.
Binge watching Netflix. You can't go anywhere.
Right, because it was playing with my eyes, because I thought it was still social distancing. But this one was called Social Dilemma. It opens up with the guy that I guess he worked at Gmail or Google. And I'm torn. People said, hey, watch this show. And let me give my take on this. My take on this is always about accountability and blaming an inanimate object of. I get it. That's why there's influencers online. There's but there's a point. There is like a fine line on influencing. And just to get kind of tell you where I'm going with that, we have influencers. Influencers decide on where you want, what you want to buy, what you want to wear, how you want to talk and act or behave in terms of like if it's being successful. You have all kinds of self-help things. But then they talked about this point where they said that they posted a whole bunch of hate stuff, right? And all of a sudden there was like mass killings, and they're trying to blame. I get it. You want to behavior correct, but like people that go out and kill, they have it on their mind already. They just need, and it doesn't even have to be social media that even triggers them. They could be triggered by anything. I mean, I've walked past people and they just by seeing you, they want, they start tripping, And to me, I feel like you can't just blame social media. You got to blame at home, because here's what I've seen when iPads, iPhones, and all these things came out. You go to the store, kids running amok, he's crying. Hey, and the mom saying, hey, give him the iPad so he can watch the thing. And he's being babysat by the social media, that's not social media's fault. That's the parent for not being involved, in my mind, involved in that child's, his foundation. Everything comes from the foundation from home. You can't blame the teachers. You can't blame, if your foundation is not there. If you're, and I say this, I had a pretty awesome upbringing. I had my dad, my mom, but we were latchkey kids because both parents worked. My dad was in the military; he did his thing. My mom, so we worked with I had like some my other siblings, my brother and my sisters, my brothers and my sister. We kind of raised each other, and it was always loving, because my parents before they left, they were loving. They were they don't get in trouble, and they left those. And I don't know if more parents are doing that, because I know a lot of kids were latchkey kids, but I know a lot of parents teach hate. I know a lot of parents, do these things that build this pressure, like a pressure cooker in kids, that if they do see something, whatever's going to make them, and I don't even want to say suicide. I'm talking about like people that go out and actually go out and harm other people, not yourself, but other people.
Yeah.
I get the whole harming, because that is bad too. That's a abuse too. And I don't totally still blame social media for suicides, but I do blame, upbringing. I blame the household, but not so much as in, I don't know. I'm torn. I'm like,
yeah.
where I'm going with that?
So I guess you're almost coming at, so the social dilemma didn't necessarily touch on the topics that you're, the path that you're going down, right? You're going down a whole nother avenue in terms of influence, in terms of peer pressure, in terms of just intimidation, having external forces that are reaching on you and having you go or think a certain way. The social dilemma, really, from my perspective, and in a second, what I'm actually going to do is I'm gonna try to show the trailer. Hopefully, I can get this technology to work right. That was really about and is about what I call the dopamine hit that we all get every time you post something online, right? The fact that you get that, you've got that every time a notification goes off on your mobile device, on your technology device, you've got to look at it. Why? Because again, you get that hit of dopamine when you get that like, when you get that comment, when you get that reaction to something that you put out, because you think that you're being justified in your action, and you think that folks actually care, but they don't, right? Because again, it's all an algorithm to continue to keep you on those particular platforms. Why? For advertising. So it's a revenue generating effect that actually scientists have actually figured out how to program and look into your brain, how the brain works to keep you scrolling down that Instagram feed, scrolling on that Facebook profile. You got better things to do than to sit there an hour and a half looking at Facebook videos. But something about it, every time you look at it, it learns more and more about what it thinks you like. So it keeps you in there. It keeps you from really having face-to-face engagements and conversations with folks. It keeps you from doing your job. It keeps you from maybe getting out there. We always talk about getting fit, going to the gym or whatever. It keeps you locked into that mode because it's consciously engineered that way. That's a problem, right? That is a problem, because that keeps you, that affects the mental, that affects the physical, that affects spiritual, that affects everything about you, because you now are being manipulated by this computer algorithm to stay on this particular platform for revenue, for ad generation, and things like that. Let me try to run this trailer for folks who haven't seen it, so they kind of understand what it is that we are talking about.
When you go to Google and type in climate change is, you're going to see different results depending on where you live and the particular things that Google knows about your interests.
That's not by accident. That's a design technique.
What I want people to know is that everything they're doing online is being watched, is being tracked. Every single action you take is carefully monitored and recorded.
A lot of people think Google's just a search box and Facebook's just a place to see what my friends are doing. What they don't realize is there's entire teams of engineers whose job is to use your psychology against you.
I was the co-inventor of the Facebook like button. I was the president of Pinterest,
Google, Twitter, Instagram.
There were meaningful changes happening around the world because of these platforms. I think we were naive about the flip side of that coin.
We get rewarded by hearts, likes, thumbs up, and we conflate that with value, and we conflate it with truth.
A whole generation is more anxious, more depressed.
I always felt like fundamentally it was a force for good. I don't know if I feel that way anymore.
Facebook discovered that they were able to affect real world behavior and emotions without ever triggering the user's awareness. They are completely clueless.
Fake news spreads 6 times faster than true news.
We're being bombarded with rumors.
If everyone's entitled to their own facts, there's really no need for people to come together. In fact, there's really no need for people to interact.
We have less control over who we are and what we really believe.
If you want to control the population of your country, there has never been a tool as effective as Facebook.
We built these things and we have a responsibility to change it. The intention could be, how do we make the world better? If technology creates mass chaos, loneliness, more polarization, more election hacking, more inability to focus on the real issues, we're toast.
This is checkmate on humanity.
So, you're on mute, brother. There you go. So, right. So that really is completely telling. And I was telling you about this ahead of time, right? I have always had an issue with this because, and the reason being is I feel I help promote this whole dynamic of internet technology, enterprise compute, things like that. Because I've been in the business for over 20 some years, right? So I sell the products to the companies that build the stores, that build the networks, that build all the server farms, things like that. So I really do, for the past however long social media's been around, I have felt a responsibility, and it pains me actually a little bit because again, I feel that I'm really responsible for some of the downfall of society because of the equipment and the infrastructure and the things that I help put in place to all these organizations. I sell to each of these companies, right? The Googles, the Facebooks, the Instagrams, all of those folks. I've been in all those offices. I've put physical gear in there. And it's a problem that I've had to deal with and just kind of come to grips with, but try not to take it personally, but more use something like these platforms to educate folks on, again, step away from the device once in a while. Don't let that control you. It's built to control you, but don't let it win. So that's where I'm coming from in terms of these types of things.
I think self-discipline. I mean, I trust me. I agree that there should be some sort of responsibility on the end. In my mind, as a part of, in regards to, I don't want to say so much censorship, but validating information that goes up there. Like anybody can type, something into, IMDb or these places that people go, to get data or information. There should be a responsibility, but you also have a responsibility to yourself to have some self-discipline. And my thing is because this is not something new. Social media is something new that they use this building algorithms, but they've been marketing and doing these things forever and trying to find out how to manipulate humans, right?
True.
Military. How can one
propaganda has been around for a long time, right? Propaganda is nothing new.
How can one person tell you who to kill and that this is the right thing to do? You know what I'm saying? How can, when you go to war, but it's happening. These people they go and they get mind screwed in training and saying, hey, the enemy is this guy. They're saying the same thing on that side. When it's leaders that are trying to get oil and all this stuff, we've always been manipulated, but we had some self-control because when people came back, hey, the war was wrong. It's always been there. So there's, some self-discipline that we can, and the same thing in terms of these. Am I on social media? Yes. Do I stay there all day long? No. I'll post some. I think it's great for marketing. I think it's great for people that have products that they want to put out there. But you're right. There should be some sense of responsibility. I don't necessarily think it should be accountability. But then again, like you said, you and I may be interpreting this whole thing differently. And I could have been on the defensive right when I started watching. I said, "What are you talking about?" That was my first. I was like, "What?" People are blaming this again. People are blaming something else for somebody else is doing something. But I do agree with you. I don't think that you are blamed for the downfall because you're doing something that, again, in your mind, this is great. Technology is great. I've always thought technology is great. How people use technology is the issue. How people are allowed to use the technology is the issue. It's like a car. A car is a bomb. Reckless people get in there every day and start driving drunk. And I'm telling you right now, when I was younger, I probably drove when I had a few drinks.
Yes, you did.
But we have to be accountable. We have to be accountable for our actions. And just like people that use the technology to be corrupt or to be devious or deceitful. That's their issue.
Yeah, I mean, I think and that brings a decent point, right? There's pros and cons to everything, right? I mean, water is the best thing for you in terms of replenishments for the body, but if you drink too much water, you could drown yourself to death.
Yeah.
Right. So everything in moderation. I think what I want folks to get out of this particular show, if you got Netflix, please watch it. If you don't, find somebody's password that you know and steal it for an hour so you can watch the show. But awareness, right? Because again, we go into these things unconsciously and we use these platforms and they're free, but they're not free.
Yep.
No one reads the EULA, the end user license agreement. Every time you sign up for one of these Snapchats, TikToks, Facebooks, whatever, you don't read that fine print saying that they can use your data, your information for data mining or advertising and sell it to someone else. The extent to what that has become, again, has really transformed how we look at these platforms. So every time you look at your Facebook profile, you see things that match with what the algorithm thinks is your personality is what you like. You're not going to see a whole bunch of counterintuitive, yin and yang things. You're going to see things that are in your whole realm of influence and your realm of thinking, right? So Democrats aren't going to see a whole lot of Trump stuff in their Facebook profile, but if you deep red and that's what you are, you're going to see a whole lot of different stuff. How do they know that, right? Every time you do a search on Google, right, you're searching for whatever, right? You search for something, and next thing you know, you got advertisements popping up for that in your Instagram feed. How do they know that? Those are the things I think that I want folks to get out of that show and talking stuff as you use these pieces of technology. They were built specifically to lure you away and into a certain frame of mind. So, you got to be all fired up, ready to go.
I know. But I think that's okay. I mean, to a point, I think that's okay to get you engaged. Is not bad. Like I said, you can't. What we need to do is work on the human condition because human condition is what is the driving force of all of this. You can't have the social media without the human interaction. You can't have the bad stuff without the human interaction. That's what I'm saying. I think that's what I'm talking about. So if they monitor the human reactions in a sense that, hey, you're using it wrong. This information is not valid. And they do that. They do that for some sites. They say, hey, you know what? We've checked this out. That information is there's no evidence of that information that you just posted. Boom, strip it, right? End user agreements for licensing. They do that now. If they just continue to do that when people are posting this stuff, like, the big, and I keep using Trump's name, but Trump will sit there and say, I didn't say that. Here's a video. There's a video. He just said that.
Let's roll the tape, man. Let's roll it.
My favorite clip is when Dave Chappelle was out and we were watching. They were doing the James Brown, and he's like, "Hey, cocaine's a hell of a drug." And he says, I did not kick it up. He goes, and then all of a sudden they show it. He did it. He's like, oh, cocaine's a hell of a drug. It was a skit, but it's funny because like even Eddie Murphy said, man, even if you got caught on video, it wasn't me. It wasn't me.
I've used that statement before. It didn't work, but I've tried.
Yeah. But I think if they police the human condition, if they police, the actual interaction of that person, if they're being deceitful and saying, "Hey, send me all your money," are you a real business? And I think that's the issue. Not so much the social. The technology is amazing. It can be amazing. It can. There's never been a time where you can market if you're a businessman, you can market to literally millions of people, right? Literally. You didn't have to put your ad in a newspaper and it goes to a small circulation of people. You're hitting the World Wide Web, baby. And to me, that's huge for people that want to go into business, that have something valid to say or sell. Influencers that really self-help people, and they're really trying to help people, and saying, hey, you know what, you're a good person. It's huge to be able to get that type of interaction, and to me, I feel like I don't want to take away from that and just say, hey, you know what? People that are saying bad stuff, they're going to be bad people. monitor them. Monitor these people. We do it in everyday life.
I'll interject and put this comment up right here, right? I mean, talking about the benefits of technology and social media, right? My dad is saying he's gotten the opportunity now to connect with Aunt, someone who he hasn't seen, talked to in decades, right? Mm-hmm. And they're now chatting online, and so again, there's pros and there's cons, but just I think what we're really saying at the end of the day, folks, is be cognizant and be aware, right? Right. Don't be that lemming jumping off the cliff because you're following everyone else. Do your own thing. Yeah. Try to make the right decisions as much as possible. So,
research the issue. If somebody's calling you something bad, know that it's not you that they're.
I'm not worried about
it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm
getting that attitude because I'm reading the Decision by Kevin Hart right now, and he's crazy anyway. So he's pointing, he's making some good points. Don't worry about what other people think about you. Do your thing, right?
Yeah,
so,
on a lighter note,
Kevin Hart and the Decision.
And on a lighter note, we don't have to stay on a serious situation, but movies, man, when are movies gonna come back? I miss that going into the theater, sitting in having some popcorn and watching that huge, humongous screen with that surround sound.
Oh,
God, man, when is that gonna open back up? They just closed us back up.
All the theaters around here shut down. So do you have like it's called Studio Movie Grill out here, where you can go in there, you can order food, you can have regular dinner, you can have some drinks or whatever right there in your chair while you watch the movie.
Dinner in a movie?
Real dinner in the movies, right? You don't have to go anywhere else, just right there at the movie theater. They charge you a little bit for it. Yeah. I noticed that the price is a little bit higher for what you get. So maybe we could talk to somebody at Studio Movie Grill and lower the price.
Hey, I don't know about down here because I haven't seen any, but I know I used to go up there a lot. Drive-in theaters, man. I can see them coming back.
No, so I think they tried to open it back up. I think they're showing some movies out there. I'm not sure if they're first run movies, but drive-ins were always cool.
Dude, I can see that coming back. Exactly, man. You know what? Like I said, it's opportunities. I mean, these guys, at some point, I think they were phasing out. The last one I seen was right there. What is it, Bradshaw, over there in your area?
Over there by the church,
that drive-in, and I'm thinking, damn, there's like weeds and stuff growing in there now. It's like, man, I can see them like opening back up because I love watching movies at home, but there's nothing like watching like a sci-fi or some action movie in that atmosphere, and popcorn and all that good stuff. So maybe,
hopefully it'll come back. Man. Hopefully it'll come back. I know. So our boy Tall Boy, so like in Atlanta, I know they do drive-in concerts now. He's been to a lot of shows where there'll be the principal, so whoever's performing on stage, and the attendees will literally just drive up in their car. They'll pop the hood or pop the trunk, right, and be in a certain stall at like a old drive-in theater location, and they'll have a show there.
Yeah.
So that's pretty ingenious for still having live, socially distant entertainment during this period of COVID. So hopefully some of that'll happen. We've got the amphitheater out here. That would be pretty cool if they would do something like that.
I remember
let me call some BGP folks. Where
BGP family reunion. Bro.
Yeah, let me call the Fienders and the world. We need some roamers out here on the grass. Let's see if we can do some things like
that. My favorite. I mean, I'll talk about my favorite show, man. It's always going to be Aerosmith, man. When we walked them through the middle of the crowd, we surrounded them. It was like, I don't know if it was like 29 of us surrounded the band. And we were walking, and Steven Tyler put his hand on my shoulder. He goes, "Isn't this great?" I was like, "Yeah." I had to look back. Like we had them, we were facing outward, but we surrounded them, kind of locked, and went through the crowd, which was pretty awesome. That was still one of my favorite shows. One of my favorite shows.
For folks, kind of. So it was Steven Tyler. It was Aerosmith, right? We were taking them from the A stage to the B stage. They
out in the lawn.
During that time, they like to walk with the crowd, which was a challenge in and of itself because we've got to logistically keep them safe and keep people away. So, we walked them through. I remember you were carrying Tyler or helping him, and when they got to the B stage, I was there. Steven Tyler knelt down, and I had to administer oxygen to the dude before he got on the. Like, oh man, like they've been doing it for a while. So I actually had to give. I have the distinct pleasure of giving Steven Tyler oxygen back in the day. So those are one of the memories that I have. But yeah, those were some good days, man. Yeah.
And talk about a guy that didn't let fame go to his head. This guy was down to earth. What a great human being. That guy was an amazing guy. So shouts out to really, really good guy. It was kind of fun because we were able to protect that whole band. We were walking them up there, locked arms. We had breast would have been hitting them, panties would have been hitting them. We had to block all that. It was crazy. It was crazy.
Tough life. It was tough life. Right.
So
we're deviating. That's why this is called Unscripted. Yeah. We had a couple other things, but now we done gone down the whole Clear Channel and BGP world.
Yeah.
But if you think about it, we were doing what we were doing, managing event staff and managing security at those venues and events at really a cool time, because that was the advent of all the boy bands, right? So the NSYNCs and the 98. Why do I say 98 degrees? Oh my God! But them. I mean the Backstreet Boys. At the beginning even when they were really getting going,
even country music. Shania Twain. We got on Arena.
We had to carry Shania Twain.
She was on the platform. I swear to God, you couldn't even feel her. She was so tiny. We're like,
she's all of 4 foot something, right? And you guys were literally carrying her around the entire Arco Arena, which was cool, right? You can't. How many people can say that they have to carry 4 foot tall Shania Twain on their back?
I think we've been fortunate to be a part of some cool stuff. Steve Feener have been amazing. I mean, we met a lot of cool people along the way. You know, we got to do some interesting things. Leave some positive, maybe some negative notes out there. But man, I feel fortunate, and I think the biggest takeaway from that is just follow you. James. I would have not even done this had you not brought this up, that opportunity. I was like, man, I don't want to do no security, dude. That was like, we did that for a while.
What was the first show that bring you in? Was it the Rolling Stones? Was that the first show?
Rolling Stones.
Was it in Oakland? Was it?
No, it was at Arco. I think.
Okay, so again, but not a bad show to get to for free and to work. And be up close and personal with the Stones, right?
Doing front of stage, walking.
Someone who you probably didn't have in your CD collection at that particular time, but you gain appreciation for them just against some old cats up there still doing it, rocking the show. My first show was my first show that I did was a few years before that was the Stones as well in Oakland. It was raining at the Coliseum, but I mean. Bryan Adams, Cyndi Lauper, let me see, Paul McCartney, having him hang out with us backstage. I mean, so those the real
funny
of the music industry for that entire decade that we did it. So that was some good stuff. That was good stuff.
Part of my worst show, Madonna. She called me the looker. I was like, I didn't know what. I was like, remember that was in Oakland. That was somebody says
we had meetings about you, brother. Yeah, you if we did a performance evaluation, you definitely would have been off the payroll that night.
Was it Gwen Stefani? It was Gwen Stefani, and I brought my daughter over the barricade.
I can't have you doing these types of things, right? I got you up close and personal with the Gwen Stefanis of the world, and hey, love your daughter. Hey, Brett, come on, Devin, come on up. But, man, let somebody know before you do those kind of things, because I remember a conversation after that too. Who's this dude working for you that's got his daughter doing it?
But Christy was those guys, and Christy and Steve were like the CEOs of the BGP. Yeah, so like I said, they were awesome. They You can't mess up like that at work and not. I mean, I got slapped on the wrist, but maybe I had to pull front of stage duty for a while.
Which is not a hard gig though. I mean, you got to be facing away from the show. I mean, from the principal, but you're looking at.
You got people, and you're right there at the gate. You're looking at a bunch of people but it was like I said, man. I feel fortunate. I feel thankful that I was a part of that. So it was some good times, man. It was some good times. And which goes into a segue of our last reunion with the friends that we had that growing up, you know, and that was awesome. You know, I finally got Damon's book, and what's this? I got his book. It's tucked down here because it was very it was very
he has some language in there. He has some language in there. I told you he's raw. D is raw, boy. You know, don't watch out. You know.
Yeah, but
you can't go to church reading that. You gonna have to change some of the words. Let me see what you got there. Let's see what you're showing.
Yeah, there we go. Right
there it is. That yellow meat watermelon guy. That's a good book.
And I say that because Damon's probably the youngest one of us, right? Damon and Anthony are probably the youngest one of us, and all doing some cool stuff. Because when we look back, we're still doing some cool stuff, probably on a different level. But I think all of us were really doing some cool stuff. And then, you know, like I said, Damon got his little book out and working on another one. Oh my God, Anthony is a father.
Yeah, what do you say? 10 pounds. So congratulations. Shouts out to you, Jabbeth. Shouts out to you, Jabbeth. Yeah.
Will's doing his, you know, Cliff ran for president.
God,
oh my man.
So think about that. Hold on. Think about it. So of us as we were coming up and growing up, did you ever think that there'd be one of us that say they legitimately ran for president of the United States of America and was you know, head of a party was actually, you know, I wrote him in a few years ago, but I mean that's crazy, right? I would have thought that they would continue to go down the music route as opposed to using technology and legal like Ant is, but you know, but that's pretty cool that we turned out not too bad. We had some bumps and bruises, but we turned out not too bad.
Not too shabby.
Speaking of the fellas reunion, though, we are going to do another one on the 16th of January. So probably do it once a quarter. And the one on the 16th, folks, we're going to have a couple of extra special guests that we talked about on that show that are close to us as well, that are part of family. So definitely keep your eyes out, subscribe so you can get the notice when we go live.
Might be some interesting stories that come out of these. Yeah.
I'm just gonna produce and moderate. I'm not even gonna be on camera because I'm not sure what's gonna be taught. I'm not gonna even show no pictures because I can't do it, man. I got some explaining to do. I don't want to
explaining.
Yeah.
But no, it was good. It was good times. Yeah. It was good times. The good thing about it was that even during the down times, we had each other's back for down times. You know, it's a good life. You know, it's a good life. Christmas is coming up. It's a good life. It's a wonderful life. Excuse me.
I'll go ahead and send you my Amazon wish list too, since we talked about Christmas, right? You know, my sizes and everything.
You do that. Everybody's gonna get one of these books.
Everybody's gonna get a copy of Yellow Meat Watermelon Guy, dog. That's right. We gonna make sure D and Lisa have some residual income coming from the book sales.
Yeah.
What are you doing now, though, brother? I mean, let's talk about. We talked a little bit about being locked down and watching movies all the time. But are you doing anything else down in SoCal now that everyone's still COVID?
Honing in on photography,
restricted?
Man. Yeah, we're still working on the photography, getting new gear. You know, I really want to get back into filming. I need to get with Ant, man, because man, he keeps you on a tight schedule, and I like the way Ant does business when he's doing that when we do the filming stuff because we come out with some nice stuff.
That's right. You guys started doing like not half bits of a movie, right? Some like info shorts.
Yeah, some shorts. We actually got a chance to work with Eazy-E's son, Marquise. You know, we were trying to finish that story, but you know, Marquise had a bunch of stuff that he had going on. We actually started filming VH1. I don't know if you remember, but VH1 came to my apartment, and they were doing some filming of the kids of rappers. You know, and Marquise was talking to, I want to say it was whose daughter? Not Dr. Dre. Is it Dr. Dre's daughter? But he was talking to somebody's daughter, and they actually used my apartment for that. So I mean, I was like a whole bunch of people in there too. I was like, man, I was like, y'all can't smoke weed on the terrace. You can't, I was like, man, I still live here. But yeah, I got to talk to like some really awesome camera crew out there, VH1. Got to see how they do things and filming. If you want to get in that business, man, Hollywood is where it's at. Down here, LA is where it's at. We could, like I said, when we started doing the red carpet thing, we just kind of jumped into it and said, hey, we're here, and started doing red carpets. And you can do that. I mean, LA is awesome. It's, people talk and say, hey, it's expensive, but you can do some crazy, amazing stuff down here. So anyway, I'm still honing in my photography. You got me into the mirrorless. I got me the mirrorless camera, Canon. We started an insurance business. So right now it's open enrollment. We're really been working on that. So we're busy doing that and building this business up. What about you? What you got going up there, man? You're always busy.
There's always something, right? Yeah, that's true. The Hicks household is always a buzz of activity. I got one kid doing college homeschool, one kid doing junior high school homeschooling, and I got my wife holding everything down. So, I'm just here cutting grass, brother, making sure that the pipes don't leak and that the grass is cut and that the pool is swept. But we're just doing our thing, right? I mean, work is good. I love what I do from a day job perspective, but the only benefit of COVID, brother, is that, again, I've been able to focus on Hicks New Media and get this platform, get us going and having these shows. We've talked for decades about doing something like this, right? Platform that we own, having shows, having conversations with interesting people, doing the one today at 2:00, doing the athlete roundtable. So definitely tune into that as well. But I mean, just doing doing things that matter, having conversations and staying as close as possible with your family, consciously trying to reach out and make sure the family is cool. That's what really matters, to be honest with you. Everything else is secondary.
And so those are the plus. That's the plus side of COVID. I mean, and again, I don't want to take anything from COVID, but it has given us an opportunity to being able, when you're working remotely from home, you have the ability to spend more time with the family. You have more time to kind of, do those things that you really, since you're locked in, to take care of. If you're knocking off a bucket list, hopefully indoors, one of those ones that you can do from home, like honing in on my camera skills, working with lighting, doing things like that, and being able to do that, I think it's huge. In my day job, I apologize. Yeah, I still do the LAX thing, so I'm still managing that. That we got that big program out here, rebuilding and adding new stuff to LAX. So if you haven't drove by LAX and seen it, there's some cool stuff coming up, man. APM, ITF West, Conrack is going to be one of the biggest. It's almost like a car rental mall. It's going to be pretty it's so sick, and it's the biggest around the world. So that's amazing in itself too. So my day job, I love. Not so many people can say that they love a lot of the things that they do, especially when it comes to their day job. So I'm fortunate there. But some good things happening, man. I'm glad you guys are staying safe. I'm glad you guys are able to get things done. So. I like doing these shows, man. Who knows? I'm still trying to reach out to some celebrities and see if we can get some of those. Maybe we can.
Yeah, you got some contacts. You down there in that area. Can you call NBC, ABC? Don't you know somebody at BET? Call somebody.
Right.
Tell them that we want to do some things. I'll even shave if I got to. Right. I'll come presentable. So we can do some things.
I think those are coming up. I think those are going to be coming up. So, like I said, if you dream it, you dream big. Shit's going to happen. I'm going to tell you right now. So,
damn, I'm not going to say anything else. I'm not going to say anything else. We might just end it right there. Say that one more time, and then I'm going to end the show because we're just going to end on a note like that.
That's right.
All right, brother. Be good to yourself. Take care. I'll holler at you soon. Later, folks.
Later.